Hello everyone and welcome to another high elo game of Age of Empires. Today the donkey meets the elephant as GL.DauT, playing as the Georgians in blue, prepares to take on Sitaux, playing as the Vietnamese in red. Now while the players herd their herdables, explore their immediate surroundings and try to get their butts up to Castle Age ASAP, because we are back in Empire Wars mode today. Not a bad time for us to take a look at the Civ matchup that we are going to be watching today. Now, the Georgians are a cavalry-centric civilization with some pretty powerful supporting economic features. To start with, all Georgian mounted units automatically regenerate HP and can be upgraded to take up 15% population space, both of which helps them mass their unique unit, quite possibly the hottest, sexiest unit of 2024. I am, of course, referring to the Manaspa, a heavily armored cavalry unit whose attack actually increases when there are other Manaspas or Nightline units in the vicinity. Now, in addition, like the Tatars, very important for the Georgians to take the high ground, which might be a little bit of an issue on this map, because I'm looking on the mini-map, there's very little high ground here, since all Georgian units and buildings take 40% less damage when fighting downhill compared to the usual 25%. Now, to help the Georgians build as big and powerful an army as possible, they do start the game. If you looked very carefully, you would have seen a free mule cart. Their fortified churches increase the work rate of villagers in the vicinity, and their economy can be much harder to raid, since not only does repairing structures cost 25% fewer resources, but their defensive structures, which by the way includes their town centers, can be upgraded to get a +2 attack boost, and their towers can be upgraded to deal pass-through damage. Pivoting to the south, we've got the elephants, the Vietnamese. Well, actually an archer civilization that has access to two pretty damn cool archer units. To start with, the first one, the rattan archer, the second fastest foot archer in the game after the plumed archer, and one that comes with a pretty decent attack and a massive amount of pierce armor, making it very hard for enemy archers to kill. So perhaps not something I'm expecting to see this game, unless our Georgian does start throwing in a few of those cavalry archers, but never say never. The second is their other unique unit, the Imperial Skirmisher, a better armored version of the Elite Skirmisher that comes with a higher attack and bonus against foot archers and cavalry archers. So maybe we won't see cav archers out of our Georgian. In any event, to support their range units on the field of battle, Vietnamese battle elephants can be upgraded to get a massive 100 extra HP, and they do get the conscription upgrade free of charge, which means they hit the Imperial Age absolutely running to start pumping out more and more military units. And to afford the cost of training these range units and their battle elephants, if we're lucky enough to see, all economic technologies cost no wood and are researched twice as fast as normal. In Vietnamese lumberjack, rather lumberjacks plural, I guess you could have a single lumberjack, can be upgraded to generate a small amount of gold while they chop down trees. Now, unlike other civilizations who have features, perhaps as I mentioned, the Georgians, to help defend their settlements from raiding, the Vietnamese actually have a feature designed to raid more efficiently. If you're wondering how the hell that Red Scout immediately showed up in GL.DauT's base, that is because the Vietnamese start the game knowing exactly where their opponents are, and so they can target the attack, they can lame resources, they can go after villagers almost immediately. And by the way, speaking of almost immediately, at the 6-minute mark of the game, both players are actually heading up to Castle Age. It looks like our Vietnamese just a few seconds, maybe 10 seconds ahead of his opponent, both off the back of the same villager count, and the idle time, basically 11 seconds, is probably the difference in time that they are going up, because I'm assuming we both have loom. I'm not sure if in Empire Wars, I haven't paid attention yet, maybe I probably not a great thing to admit for a caster, but do the villagers start with loom? I'm assuming they probably do, right? Although I shouldn't make any assumptions. By the way, while the players start building up their bases, although for now, walling off their bases is more accurate. Let's take a look at the map, because we are on Karsts today, a very hard word for me to pronounce for some reason, Karsts. There you see it at the bottom. A few interesting things about this map. It is incredibly rich in scarce resources, let's call it, the gold and the stone. Look at that. Almost 3 times as much stone as your average Arabia map, and almost 3 times as much gold as your average Arabia map. The only thing that's missing is the resource there to the left. No, those aren't joints being rolled up. That is lumber. If you take a look at the minimap, everyone is starting with 4 forests in the immediate vicinity. But beyond that, oh man, is lumber a scarce commodity on this map. But these karsts, these rock formations, they are surrounded, replete with gold and stone. And so we'll see if remember, I hope I will, at the end of the game, to see how many donkey carts, how many mule carts are going to be built, and how many mining camps are going to be built, and then compare and see if the Georgians do have any kind of advantage. And immediately, fortified church gets built, immediately gets a kill. And the first kill of the game going to our Georgian, who draws first blood, but now is getting aggressed against here by a whole bunch of crossbows. Remember, 20% extra HP, so instead of 35, they do come with 42, which makes them a little bit tankier, perhaps an extra spear or two, an extra javelin or two out of our Georgian needing to kill these crossbows, but kill them they will, since it is technically a counter unit. We saw the extra town center for our Georgian to the rear here. We've got 2 more town centers for our Vietnamese, who's getting pushed into here. Ooh, but this might all just be one delicious trap. One Georgian sandwich coming up. I don't know if that mangonel did more damage to his own units than to the skirmishers. It looks like it did clip a little bit of HP off them. Did manage to get a single kill. And so kill count now stands at 4-2. But to be fair, not the most high intense battle here. Oh, DauT possibly not expecting that these crossbows would return with the skirmishers roaming around the map. Releases a monk. I'm assuming he's seen this relic with the movement of these skirmishers. Of course he has. He also has, by the way, got caught wind of this relic up here. And so fortified churches, if you put in a relic, it adds an extra arrow of attack. Now the skirmishers are circling here to the south as the siege of the Georgian southern base, southern perimeter, southern suburbs is underway. Did Blue just delete his own palisade just in time for these crossbows to enter into here? Or did they actually attack it and destroy it? I apologize, my eyes were firmly fixed on this mangonel force here to the left. Oh no. Oh, mamma mia. This is a spicy Georgian meatball that's about to get consumed here. 8, 9, 10, 11 villager kills. And now he's trying to build himself and destroy himself an exit strategy here. But there are a few skirmishers. The villagers are moving back, very cocky. And the mangonel gets a nice pancake. But 11 villager kills. 11. That sets DauT back to the, I would say Stone Age, but let's say the Dark Age. Maybe the Feudal Age. At the end of the day, that band of crossbowmen have sacrificed their lives, but in order to get an absolute epic win there for them, 12 villagers lie dead. And now DauT is down 11 villagers. He's going to be down a lot more. He's only up to 2 TCs to 3. Looks like a mangonel did die here to this one who had 5 kills, probably 4 crossbows and a mango, which does sound like a very fun 1980s Age of Empires sitcom. 4 crossbows and a mango as they try to raise a baby in the city. Anyway, 6 kills for you. I see a couple of dead blue bodies here and here, which tells me those skirmishers did not live very long. We'll have seen that in picture, but what an absolute epic get there for our Vietnamese, who, by the way, is the one putting on the aggression here with a very forward siege workshop that we saw pumping out non-stop mangonels. But for now, the better trades are going to our Georgian in blue, who is timing the movement of these mangonels perfectly. And what I mean by that, I mean, of course, I say that and he immediately loses, but man, 6 or 7 kills for that blue mangonel is a pretty good value for that unit. Oh no. Oh no. Mangonel up here is running amok. Already has 4 kills, all villagers. So now we're up to 16 dead Georgian villagers. What I meant by timing the mangonels is if you take a look, unless you're dealing with a civilization like the Celts or whatever that have any kind of special speed related enhancements, generally a mangonel attacks on 6 seconds. And so when you're fighting a mangonel war, it's very important to know when your opponent fires those rocks at you, because when they do, then you can count in your head real quick 6 seconds, which in real human terms is 6 divided by 1.7 because game speed is 1.7. So probably like, what is that? 3.5 seconds before they can fire again. We'll see here if we can. And then, you know, when you're playing Mangonel Wars and you're fighting Mango versus Mango, not a bad idea to know the timing of the attack so you can maneuver in position. So it's here. Let's see if we can count here. Okay. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. I mean, this is obviously not a Mangonel War, but it is a pretty fun little Feudal Age / Castle Age battle. We've got a single scout, a single spearman, and then you got a couple of crossbows, which absolutely wrecked that knight. And holy moly, our Vietnamese is just putting on a lot of aggression. He does not want to. He does not want to deal with Manaspas, and who the hell can blame him? You get 29 of these, you get them up to elite, and they attack on a frickin' 22. Same as Elatus, except of course they don't ignore armor. But unlike Elatus, they do attack super lightning fast, and they actually, I think, move as fast as Elatus. So a lot of interesting comparison between the two units. For now, forget all the attack bonuses. There's only 4 of them. You need 7 in addition to your 1. And so if you want a +1 boost, you need 7 + 1, then 14 + 1, then 21 + 1, and then 28 + 1. So basically 8, 15, 22, and 29 Manaspas. Right now we've got only 6, 7 on the field, which doesn't even give him a +1. Now the badass thing about this unit is that the other Manaspas have to be within 15 tiles, which is, I mean, multiply this castle basically by 4, because this is a 4x4 structure. So another castle, another castle, another castle. So from here to here, and that's just in one direction. And then it's in the other direction, and then it's this direction and that direction. I apologize for the weird click and drag, but Age of Empires doesn't really allow you to drag diagonally. It creates a bit of a square. Beautiful 1999 design. Another villager's gonna get got. 20 villager kills to 0. Although our Georgian does have more kills. A vast majority of those kills are crossbows. Oh no, there's nothing here to defend these villagers. They are a little bit slow to run away. DauT. By the way, where's the donkey cart here? Why is he mining? Why is he long distance mining this gold? Oh, he went into the okay, went into the fortified church. So 4 more villager kills. I mean, in exchange for what looks like a scout unit. And now the Manaspas are catching up. Oh, he needs husbandry. I think he realizes, does DauT, that, wait a second, my Manaspas should be running circles around these guys. And actually, okay, our Vietnamese is also missing husbandry. Oh, now look at them. Look at them catch up. This movement speed 1.54 for a medium / heavy cavalry unit. That is a ridiculously fast movement speed. That means he can catch up to cavalry archers. That means he can almost quite catch up to camels even. And of course, yours truly said at the, what was it, 3, 4, 5 minute mark of the game that we're probably not going to get to see rattan archers, because this is a counter archer, fully capped, fully maxed out and upgraded. That pierce armor on a rattan is 10. That is Huskarl level. That is Incan Eagle Warrior level. And so very much a counter archer. And so didn't really expect to see it, but always pleasantly surprised. It's a super cool unit. Like I said, second fastest foot archer in the game after the plumed archer, of course. And here comes a band of 9 Manaspas. They have not even forging, so they should be at a +1 right now. And the stats on these units are just so impressive. Ooh, we've got a bit of a sandwich situation developing. The wolf joins in on the battle as well. So to the right, to the left, and in the center. In the center, Sitaux, who is an Imperial, has pumped out a single Treb. Is he going for a second one? Yes, he is. And he is moving forward here. The base to the left is secure. The base to the right has a castle on it. The base to the right has a castle on it. That's not English. The base on the right side of the Vietnamese base, there is a castle. So the Georgian attack completely stalled, and now he's dealing with a frontal assault here. Ooh, is he going to wall in his Treb? I love when players do this. It's such a weird, adorably cool thing to do. Oh yeah, he is going full on rattan archers now. He's getting ballistic. He's getting chemistry. DauT is still 2 minutes away from Imperial, but again, he has the much stronger unit. Maybe not if he just sends them straight to die. A couple of exposed villagers here for these Manaspas. They do finally have forging, which means 8 of them will have +2 instead of +1. And for the first time in 25 minutes, DauT manages to get some villager kills. 5 of them immediately die. Some more mYi.Sitaux here on the left trying to get something done. Castle is still being sieged. And DauT is definitely going cavalry. Yeah, he's getting chain barding armor. Army counts are fairly similar. Our Vietnamese is ahead by about 20 villagers. Wolf is on the high ground here. We'll see how this shapes up. I mean, we know how it's going to shape up. It's still fun to watch, even though there's a lot more exciting action happening out on the map. Looks like mYi.Sitaux entered into the castle firing range. They dead. And now he's going to catch even more villagers. Okay. So DauT being a little bit relaxed with his expansion or his expanding. And leaving a bunch of villagers exposed out in the open. These Rattans they're, again, a super cool unit, but I don't know that they're necessarily going to be able to defend those villagers down there, especially if they're focused on the forward position. But look at that. 3 mYi.Sitaux for nothing is not a bad get. I'm surprised they managed to kill them so quickly. These guys have 4 pierce armor, but unlike other major cavalry, heavy or medium, look at their HP. It's in the double digits. Now it's going to be finally in the triple digits because he just got elite mYi.Sitaux, and he's about to sandwich the Vietnamese army from the north, from the south. One treb will definitely fall, packed up as it is, but our Vietnamese prepared for this. He's got halberdiers. Oh my goodness, he lost all his siege. 3 trebuchets, a mangonel, his entire forward line of halberdiers all melting, and now mission accomplished. DauT retreats. That was an absolute fantastic get for our Georgian. Absolutely cripples the entire offensive capabilities of the Vietnamese, and all of a sudden there's not too much that Sitaux can do here anymore. There's a castle up to the north. There's fortified churches all over the place. By the way, how many fortified churches? 5, which, remember, roid up all the villagers within an 8-tile radius by 10%. That was absolutely fantastic. And then he didn't commit more than he had to and retreated once he saw the halberdiers. And how many mYi.Sitaux now? 22. So they're going to have free +3, which means these guys should be at a +4 and in 18 seconds at a +5 once iron casting completes. Now, unlike the Lithuanians who are missing blast furnace, the Georgians actually do get blast furnace. Here we go. Maybe a couple of more dead villagers here. Wololo's attempted. They're entering the castle fire. Wololo successful as a Rattan gets converted, immediately gets gunned down. It looks like DauT is looking for some kind of damage here in the center, where, again... Sorry, I think I said DauT earlier. It's, my apologies, Sitaux is playing very fast and loose with his expansion. To the north here, there's a lot of exposed villagers. By the way, what the hell is going on here? Okay, I guess when you can't really do anything with your villager, just build houses. Pro players, as we all know, are allergic to not only murder holes, but also idle time. And low APM. Oh my goodness, more villagers. 37 villager kills to 19, possibly 38. If these halberdiers risk it for the biscuit. Yep, 38 to 16. mYi.Sitaux slam into a house, another house behind it goes up, and now they're in a little bit of a pickle here. There's a few halberdiers. But mYi.Sitaux, once they're clumped in enough quantity because of their super fast attack speed, they are quite good against halberdiers. Good with an asterisk. No cavalry is really good against a trash unit like a halberdier, but similar, like I keep comparing them to the Lechai, but the Lechai are also pretty damn good against halberdiers for different reasons, of course. They just ignore their armor and they gun them down. But mYi.Sitaux are just deceptively strong against the halberdiers. Any other cavalry, medium or heavy, probably would have suffered a few more losses there in front of the Vietnamese base. Looks like one of the donkey carts did fall. Random confused pig doesn't know what the hell is going on. Where are all these Vietnamese units coming from, he's wondering. As the Vietnamese now presses into here. More villager kills he wants. Give me more. The villager fights back. Okay, I mean... Better, what's the expression? Better to die on your feet than better to fight, or something about being on your knees or your feet or something. Better to die on your feet than on your knees, or I forget what the expression is, but kudos to that one villager who decided to fight back against the Vietnamese war machine. Now there's just way too many mYi.Sitaux. 26 25, 24. And that is not enough for the maxed out boost, but they are elite, remember, and they do have blast furnace. So now they're at a 21 attack. I mean, even paladins cap out at 18. 21 attack. And by the way, I think these guys also attack 0.1 seconds faster than paladins, which makes them even more deadly and lethal. The chase is on here. These rattan archers desperately trying to get the hell back to the safety of their castle, to the safety of some halberdiers, the welcoming arms of the halberdiers. And now it is DauT who has extended a little bit too far. Okay, Sitaux now down 4 villagers, is having his infrastructure taken out, but look at this infrastructure. I love this. This is so annoying. Do you leave this up? Do you attack it? Do you let your Manaspas run around? Do you go after the army? There's a lot of Manaspas, by the way. We're up to 45 of them. But they're not clumped properly. 20 over here. 16 over here. Oh, they get a bombard cannon too. That is very sour as he gets evicted from the siege workshop once it hits the 20% HP mark. I mean, did you not see that he had a donkey cart right here, or that he had to build another one? Like I said, very curious at the end of the game, because you'd imagine maps like this where you have to keep moving. It's a very nomadic style map in terms of gathering resources. I'd imagine that it always is more beneficial for the Armenians and the Georgians. 44 Manaspas. Now they should be at the full 22 attack. I don't know that a couple of rattan archers are going to be able to stop this. I don't know that even these halberdiers are going to be able to stop this. I like that Sitaux is focusing on the armor upgrades for the halberdiers. Doesn't really need attack. They come with a 32 attack bonus anyway against cavalry. It looks like there's a bit of a Vietnamese sideswipe here to try to distract, but DauT is not falling for it. Both players are at full capacity. We're having paper money. We're getting chatras. We have elephants. Out of 5 stables, there's 6 elephants being trained at the moment. And with chatras, remember, that adds 100 extra HP. They are at 370 with bloodlines. Oh my goodness. I mean, I started the game by saying the donkey meets the elephant. I was cautiously optimistic. And the elephants move in 370 HP of power. But they're not elite. The elite upgrade for elephants is a ridiculously expensive one. 1,100 food, 700 gold. The same total resources is going up to Imperial. And they're doing a lot of moving. They're not doing a lot of attacking. Why are they moving so much? His waypoints are set. Okay, now they're finally attacking. Manaspas, what are you at now? Now you're falling. I said this earlier in an earlier game. The Manaspa is the only unit that, as a battle goes on, as more of its fellow soldiers fall in a hero's death, that gets weaker. There's no other unit. I can't think of any other unit in Age of Empires whose stats get weaker as a battle goes on, right? Obviously, if you're constantly reinforcing them like DauT is doing, the stats are pretty decent. Wow. And even the elephants are not enough to stop this tide of Manaspas, but although probably more realistically, it's these 5 trebuchets, because Sitaux has a good amount of gold. What he doesn't have is food. Elephants are not a light unit when it comes to food cost. 36 villagers on food right as he GG'd. Wow. We got to see the elephant. We got to see the donkey. And now I want to take a look at how many donkey carts. I keep calling them donkey carts. I know they're called mule carts, but I don't know. Donkey always sounds funnier to me. 18 mule carts. And let's see how many mining camps. 12 mining camps. So in theory, you're not supposed to have more donkey carts than you are supposed to have mining camps, right? Did I say mining carts? Mining camps. Although I don't know if it's 100% accurate to compare apples to oranges, maybe, because it all depends on how many villagers you have and where you've expanded. But in any event, you're not really supposed to have 50% more donkey carts. The whole point of this is that you should need to build fewer of them. Yeah, for example, you don't need 2 over here. You don't need 3 over here. So maybe DauT going a little bit overboard on the donkey cards, but forget the donkey card. The bigger story is we finally got to see Vietnamese battle elephants. I have been pining for these units ever since the Viper played that one game about a year ago where he raided with them. And of course, he had Chatras, and he had that's the upgrade that gives him 100 extra HP. And he had them up to Elite, I believe. And that gives them 420 Pothead Elephant HP power. In this case, though, I think for a little bit, they were just on like move command. I think the waypoints were set somewhere here. And so by the time they even got to their final destination, which is a absolutely atrocious series of movies, their HP was getting tickled away at by these Manaspas here and there and here and there. And again, you're attacking a unit now on a 20 that has 3 armor, 17 freaking damage to a unit as tanky as an elephant, 18 to the Rattan Archer. So basically you need 3 attacks. You need less than 5.5 seconds to kill a Rattan Archer. One-on-one Manaspa to Rattan Archer, which is pretty bonkers. Even though, you know, heavy cavalry to archer units, never a fair fight 1-to-1, but I mean, the Manaspa just takes that unfairness to a whole new level. By the way, I think these Manaspas here to the south, I don't know if this is 15 tiles, right? This is 3. So imagine 5 stables. I think these Manaspas do count for these in terms of attack bonus. These definitely do. And so there are 29. Actually, no, sorry, there's 28 because Capture Age now includes the dead one. Oh, maybe not. There are 29. So they should be at a +8. So never mind. The 2 to the south don't count. It's just these Manaspas. There's 22 here. Or maybe this one doesn't count. I don't know. In any event, it doesn't really matter. What an absolute bonkers fun game. And this is exactly why Sitaux wanted to put on so much early game aggression and that penetration with those crossbows, killing a dozen villagers from the very beginning. I mean, that just set the pace for how awesome this game was going to be. And DauT took that a little personally and then absolutely exploded. Let's see how many fortified churches he's got at the end. 11 fortified churches. His villagers are running around roided out of their minds. They are Ken Griffith. Oh my God. What was the name of that famous baseball player? It wasn't Ken Griffith Jr. What was the name? I forget the name of that player who was like roided up to the hilt and he just kept hitting home run after home run after home run. But it doesn't matter. These villagers, again, anything within an 8-tile radius. And by the way, this squircle around the the fortified church, this is not 8 tiles. This is 6 tiles. This is the attack radius of 6. And so you have to add 2 more tiles in each direction. I really wish there was a way to make a diagonal line as opposed to this box. But in any event, 11 fortified churches is just an absolute bonkers number. It looks like every single mule card is coming with a fortified church. Basically, Oprah Winfrey, you get a fortified church, you get a fortified church, everyone gets a fortified church. But the battle to the center does not go the way the Vietnamese wants it to go, even though the kill counts are not terrible for either player. 45 dead villagers to 32. But it is DauT who was fighting, to be fair, halberdiers and archer units, who gets 50 more kills than his opponent. And at the end, the transition to Battle Elephant, not quite fully upgraded. Like I said, still missing the Elite upgrade, still missing the last armor upgrade. And yeah, that Elite upgrade is just way too ridiculously expensive. 1,100 food. He's got the gold for it, though, but not the food for it. 146 minutes. But I told you, this is the sexiest unit of 2024. You know, like Time Magazine has the sexiest man of 24, or person, I guess, of 2024. This is the sexiest unit of 2024. You cannot resist the lure of the Manaspa if you ever play as the Georgians, even though, again, they I've said this before, they have a pristine infantry line. Their siege line is incredible. They're just missing bombard cannons. And to be fair, their monk line isn't bad either. And we see 6 monks. We'll see how many conversions. Halberdiers, rattan archers. So throwing weaker units at the stronger Manaspa. I think most of the skirmishers we saw earlier on in the game not exactly playing a role at the end point. I see now there's 3 skirmishers still alive. Peak APM for DauT, beginning of the game. Peak APM for Sitaux, very beginning of the game. And what do we think the economies are like? Not too dissimilar, less than 10% apart. If you remove the relic gold, even more closely, even more close in statistics. Let's see, about 1,000 extra wood for our Vietnamese, who, remember, did get paper money. And so those lumberjacks, little as it is, were generating gold. it is a ridiculously small amount. I think it's something like 0. It's like 0.04, I think, gold per 1 wood, which, to be fair, is a small amount, but still helpful. And then all the other resources going to the Georgians, a lot more stone, just a tiny bit more gold, which includes the relics. But remember, this gold also includes the paper money upgrade and a little bit more food for him. 1 conversion, not playing a role. 16 buildings destroyed to 10, also very similar. So a very fun back and forth between these two players. And again, can you blame Sitaux for wanting to avoid late game against the Georgians? This unit, I mean, what the hell? It moves in lightning fast. It attacks lightning fast. It has an insane amount of armor. 8 melee armor, even against an elephant that attacks on a 14, is 6 damage. So you need 18 attacks, maybe even 19 attacks from an elephant just to kill a single Manaspa. That's how tanky the armor is. And then 6 armor to the 11 attack of the Rattan Archer also is just a ridiculous amount of armor. So it is a super cool unit, sexiest unit of the games at this point, to be fair. And that's exactly what GL.DauT built, going for that the trendy unit, the hot unit. It's like when people line up at a new restaurant, that's exactly what the Georgians are like right now. And it is with that unit that GL.DauT manages to actually hold off. And kudos to him for not GGing after losing a dozen villagers to those crossbows, but instead hunkering down, plopping down 11 freaking fortified churches, getting 4 relics to 0. I'm assuming there's a 5th relic somewhere out on the map, but I can't really see it. And holding off that incredible Vietnamese aggression. I mean, we had siege, we had crossbows, and then once he held that off, once he took out, the tide really turned when he took that battle here and destroyed the 3 or 4 trebuchets and the mangonel, and then retreated. That was just an absolute huge W for GL.DauT, who then just builds up his Manaspa force and then gets the real big W up here. GL.DauT is victorious, but what a fun game. GG to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.